Chapter 3: The Sultanate Period. The Delhi Sultanate was a Delhi-based Muslim kingdom that spread over large regions of the Indian subcontinent for 320 years, 1206 to 1526. The Delhi Sultanate was subsequently ruled by five dynasties: the Mamluk dynasty, 1206 to 90, the Khilji dynasty, 1290 to 1320, the Tughlaq dynasty, 1320 to 1414, the Sayyid dynasty, 1414 to 51, and the Afghan Lodi dynasty, 1451 to 1526. Thus, the period from 1206 to 1526 AD is known as the period of Delhi Sultanate. Finding out about the Delhi Sultan. Under the Delhi Sultans, Persian was the official language. Whatever information we get is provided through inscriptions, coins and architecture, which form the valuable part of history, known as Tariq, singular, and Tawarikh, plural. Who wrote Tariq, singular, and Tawarikh? The authors of Tawarikh were learned men, secretaries, administrators, poets and courtiers, who both recounted events and advised rulers on governance, emphasizing the importance of just rule. Keep the following additional details in mind. 1. The authors of Tawarikh lived in cities, mainly Delhi, and hardly ever in villages. 2. They often wrote their histories for sultans in the hope of rich rewards. 3. These authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order based on birthright and gender distinctions. Their ideas were not shared by everybody. The Mamluk dynasty. The Mamluk dynasty, better known as the Slave dynasty or Ghulam dynasty, was directed into northern India by Qutbuddin Aybak. Qutbuddin Aybak was a Turkish general from Central Asia. The Slave dynasty to rule India's Delhi Sultanate from 1206 to 1290. Qutbuddin Aybak, 1206-1210 AD. After the death of Muhammad Ghori, Qutbuddin Aybak became the Sultan of Delhi. He was the first independent Muslim ruler. Iltutmish, 1211-1236 AD. Iltutmish succeeded Qutbuddin. He had to face many problems during his reign. He had to contain the Turkish nobles, and also the local rulers. The Turkish nobles were won over by grants of lands. He won the confidence of many Rajput rulers. Some of them were defeated by him. Iltutmish was the first Turkish ruler who introduced coins with Arabic inscriptions. He completed the famous Qutub Minar that had been started by Qutbuddin. Razia Sultana, 1236-1248 AD. The Delhi Sultanate is the era that enthroned one of the few female rulers in Islamic history, Razia Sultana from 1236-1240. 2. Razia Sultan was more able and qualified than all her brothers. No noble was happy at her attempts to rule independently. She was removed from the throne in 1240. Nasiruddin Mahmud, 1246-1266 AD. Nasiruddin Mahmud, Nasiruddin Firuz Shah, 1246-1266, was the 8th Sultan of the Slave dynasty. He was the son of Nasiruddin Mahmud, died 1229. He was the youngest son of Shamsuddin Iltutmish, 1211-1236. He succeeded Ala-ud-Din Masood after the chiefs removed when they felt that he began to behave as a tyrant. Ghiyasuddin Balban, 1266-1286 AD. Ghiyasuddin Balban was the greatest and the most powerful ruler of the Slave dynasty. He reorganized and strengthened his army. He fought against the local rulers and defeated many of them. He also fortified the northwestern borders against Mongol raids. Balban made the Sultan supreme position. He introduced the Persian custom of sajda or prostration before the Sultan. The Muslims, this orthodox opposed Balban, was succeeded by very weak kings. In 1292, the rule of the Slave dynasty ended and the throne of Delhi passed into hands of the Khiljis. The Khilji dynasty, 1290 to 1320 AD, the Khilji dynasty, or simply Khilji, was the second dynasty to rule the Delhi Sultanate. This dynasty ruled large parts of South Asia between 1290 and 1320. The Khilji dynasty was founded by Jalaluddin Firuz Khilji. The dynasty is known for their faithlessness and ferocity, as well as their raids into Hindu South and defending the Sultanate against the repeated Mongol invasions of India. Jalaluddin Khilji, 1920 to 1296 AD. Jalaluddin Khilji was 70 years old when he became a ruler. He was not a strong ruler. He failed to maintain law and order during his rule. During his reign, the Mongols attacked the kingdom but were defeated. Alauddin Khilji, 1296–1316 AD. Alauddin Khilji was an efficient military commander-administrator, and who wanted to establish a big and powerful empire. He even thought of conquering the whole world. He adopted various measures to fulfill his desires. Taxation and control of markets. Alauddin Khilji raised the land tax on the rich people of Doab, a fertile area between the rivers Ganga and Yamuna. He kept a strict watch to get the royal share of the revenue from the nobles. Lands belonging to nobles who were suspected to be unloyal were confiscated. He fixed the prices of eatables and other commodities of daily use. Arrangements were also made for supply of essential commodities to common people. Land revenue from peasants was accepted both in cash or in kind. Reform in the army. Alauddin Khilji took measures to reorganize his army. He paid decent salaries to his soldiers, provided them superior weapons, and kept a description roll of every soldier and even the horses. The Tughlaq dynasty, 1320 to 1413. The Tughlaq dynasty lasted for about 100 years. This dynasty gave two powerful sultans, Muhammad bin Tughlaq and Firoz Shah Tughlaq. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Ghiyasuddin was the first ruler of the dynasty. He was an efficient commander. He suppressed rebellions and consolidated the Sultanate. He was succeeded by Jaunak Khan, who took the title of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, 1325 to 1351. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was very powerful ruler. Ibn Battuta gives a lot of information on his reign. He tells us that the king was a man of great ideas. He thought of many ambitious schemes and unique experiments. However, he did not implement his ideas properly. That is why most of his experiments failed. Introduction of a token currency. In 1329, Muhammad bin Tughlaq introduced a token currency. There was a worldwide shortage of silver during this period. So the Sultan decided to issue coins of brass and copper for day-to-day transactions. Their coins could be exchanged for silver coins at any time from the royal treasury. Karachil expedition. To secure the northern frontiers of the Sultanate, Muhammad bin Tughlaq sent an army to the Kangra region. After annexing the region, the army proceeded towards Tibet. It suffered heavy casualties. Taxation in the Doab. To increase revenue collection, the Sultan raised tax on the peasants of the Doab region. The Don was aware more taxes would not have affected the peasants in normal times. However, the Doab was facing a famine during this period. To raise taxes at such a time was a big mistake. Peasants abandoned their land. Many of them revolted. The Sultan had to ultimately withdraw his orders. Firoz Shah Tughlaq, 1351 to 1388. After the death of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq became the Sultan. He realized that his predecessor had lost his hold over the empire because he did not have the support of the nobles and the ulamas. There were many rebellions during the reign of Firoz Shah Tughlaq. The governor of Bihar and Bengal revolted against the Sultanate. There were revolts in Mewar and Marwar also. The Sultan failed to suppress these revolts. Taimur's invasion, 1398. The final blow to the Tughlaq Empire was the invasion of Taimur in 1398. Taimur was the ruler of Balkh in Central Asia. He invaded India and looted Delhi. He also ordered a massacre in which thousands of people were killed. He moved back to Central Asia with a loot. There he beautified his capital Samarkand with elegant buildings, places and mosques. Before leaving Delhi, Taimur appointed Khizr Khan as his deputy in India. Khizr Khan became the first Sayyid ruler. Sayyid dynasty, 1414 to 1451. The Sayyid sultans ruled for a brief period. There were 4 Sayyid kings. Khizr Khan Sayyid, 1414 to 1421. Khizr Khan was the governor of Multan under Firoz Shah Tughlaq. After the death of Firoz, he supported a son of Firoz in the War of Succession. When Taimur attacked India, he joined him. When Taimur left India, he appointed Khizr Khan as the governor of Multan, Lahore, and Dipalpur. Khizr Khan conquered Delhi in 1414 and started the rule of the Sayyids. Ala-ud-Din Alam Shah Sayyid, 1443 to 1451. Alam Shah was the next ruler. He lost Delhi to Bahlol Lodi in 1451. With this, the brief rule of the Sayyid kings came to an end. Lodi dynasty, 1451 to 1526. Till now, all the rulers of the Sultanate were of Turkish origin. The Lodis, however, were Afghans. Bahlol Lodi, 1405 to 1489. The first Lodi ruler was Bahlol Lodi. He tried to consolidate the fragmented Sultanate. He removed rebellious governors and appointed loyal Afghan nobles as governors of important provinces. At the time of his death, the Sultanate stretched from Punjab to Bihar. Sikandar Lodi, 1489 to 1517. The most powerful Lodi ruler Bahlol's was son, Sikandar Lodi. He ended of Jaunpur and Bihar and signed a treaty of friendship with the ruler of Bengal. He established the city of Agra and made it his capital. Ibrahim Lodi, 1517 to 1526. Sikandar Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi succeeded the Afghan nobles rebelled against him. He however defeated them. To prevent such revolts in future, Ibrahim Lodi replaced senior nobles and exercised a great deal of power by younger men. Their nobles conspired with Babur, who overthrew Ibrahim Lodi in 1526 at the First Battle of Panipat.